When you get the new panel, the first thing that we're going to need to do is get the cell unit switched from the old one to the new one. So on the side of the old one, there's going to be a little tab right there. If you just pull that down, you can see the cell unit. It's a cell slide. All you do is you pull this out, just like that, and you grab the new panel. And underneath the new panel, you're just going to put it back in. Make sure it clicks like that, so you can hear it click really well. Then you're going to put this back on there. Sometimes that tab gets in the way when you're trying to fold it, and make sure that it's solid. Now you've got your panel's cell unit switched out. Now that I've got the panel powered up, I can go ahead and program the sensors into it. All we need to do is program the sensors that we have. So just go to the system settings, put in the code 2077, scroll the screen up till you see installer toolbox. But to program the sensors, go to system configuration, wireless zones, and then we're going to start on zone 1. So all you do is click edit zone here, and it's going to show you sensor type. So we're doing an entry exit type 1, which is that first one there. Then you can go down to the next one. Equipment code is a DW10 because we're going to program in the front door. Now the serial number, the sensor either comes with the serial number. If you have the boxes still, you could find out what the serial number is and enter it in there. It's a TXID number, it's a 7-digit number. Or you can just push this learn button and then go over and open the door. And when the door sends its signal over here, this will show the serial number. So I just went and opened up the door, and now you can see that I have the serial number received. I hit accept, and now I've learned in that serial number. That will learn it in with the correct loop and everything, so you don't need to worry about doing any of those things. The next thing you need to change is going to be the voice descriptor. So click on that. Edit voice descriptor and just start typing it. So we'll say front, door, and then done. And that's it. And then you go to the next zone. Now we're going to do the exact same thing for the back door. So we're going to do type 1. So I can either type 01 or click the drop down and select it. And then click the next one. The other, drop down, 2 gig door window. The serial number, I would do the same thing where I just learn and then go open the door. Now that I learned in that serial number by opening the door, I just hit accept, go to the voice descriptor, edit voice descriptor, and type back door, and done. And that's it. So now I go to the next zone. Now your next zone is going to be a motion detector, so I'm going to type in type 10, which is interior with delay. You can also scroll down till you get to number 10, and then it automatically says it's a sensor equipment type motion. So now the equipment code, just click on the drop down and do PIR with pet immunity, passive infrared, which is your motion detector, and then you're going to have your serial number. Now with motion detectors, it's not as easy to trip with to get the serial number. So all you need to do is look at the serial number that's going to be on the inside of the motion detector, so you'll have to take it off the wall. Just unscrew the bottom screw, pull the top off, and you'll be able to see the TXID. With the motion detector, once you've taken that screw off, this back plate should already be mounted to the wall, so it should just be stuck there. So you're just going to take this part off, go over to the panel, and you're going to be able to see the TXID right here. So I'm just going to type that in, 0186609, and now I've typed it in there, and double check to make sure that it's the right code. And then your voice descriptor, we're just going to change this to say front motion. And that's it. So now we can go to the next zone. So now we're going to do the exact same thing with the next motion detector. So I'm just going to type in 0 or 10 for the interior with delay. Change the equipment code to PIR, the serial number. Same thing, I've got to go get the next motion detector down. Once I get that, I've got it here. It's going to be 01876692. And now I go to the voice descriptor for this one, edit it as back motion. And there's a motion detector right there actually. And that's it. So now I've got the next zone, which is going to be your glass break sensor. Your glass break sensor is similar to the motion detector. If you have the box still, you can look on the back of the box and you can see the TXID right here for this glass break. If you don't have it, you're going to have to remove the glass breaker from off of the ceiling and bring it over. So all the glass break does is it detaches from the back just like that, and then you've got your TXID right here. So I'm just going to enter this TXID. First I've got to select a sensor type. So the sensor type for this one's 03. It's a perimeter. Again, I can hit the drop down, hit perimeter. Equipment code, change it to glass break. Serial number is this one right here, so 082 0148. Now I just have to change the voice descriptor, change it to glass break, and hit done. Now I'm done with that one. We've got one more zone, which is going to be our panic pendant. So if you look on the box, you can look for it until you find the TXID, which is this one right here. So that's the panic pendant. Panic pendant, you open it up, and this is going to be mounted underneath the registration or the register desk, so that employees, if they have any situation, they can just go ahead and push the button and call for the police. And it sends a silent panic because that's the way we're going to program it, so it doesn't alert the would-be burglar that there's something wrong. So that's what the panic pendant looks like. It comes in this. This is the case that you want. All you need to do is put a screw underneath the desk to hold it in place to the top, or to the underside of the top of the desk. That way it mounts. It's just going to get mounted right in like this, and all they have to do is push and hold this button, and that's it. It will set off the panic. On the box, which is the easiest, so that's where we want to find it, which you should be able to still have, and we're going to enter in that code. So it's right there. So first I need to select what sensor type it is. If you drop down, scroll down until you get to 24-hour silent alarm, which is 06. So that's the one you want to use. Equipment code, select the 2 gig panic button remote. Serial number, we're just going to enter that number in. And then the voice descriptor, we just changed to panic. And that's it. Once that's done, then we're going to return to system configuration and just hit the back arrow here. It's going to say, do you want to save all the changes that you made? And it shows you all the stuff that you've changed. Just hit save. And now it goes back to the main screen. So we're just going to enter our code 2077. Scroll it up till you get to installer toolbox, hit your radio status, and now you can see the serial number. So this serial number right here is the number that actually is associated with this account. So if there's ever an alarm that goes off, that's where it directs it to. So once you've got that, you can hit the start radio test button, make sure that the radio test is successful. Once that's successful, we can go back out. Now I like to disable the sounder. What this does is it makes it so that for 30 minutes there's not going to be any siren sound when you set off the alarm. So it's nice when you're testing it and there's customers in the store. So
system disarmed, ready to arm.
And now all I would need to do is hit the arm away button, and I can test the system out. One thing I like to do though is check this silent exit and turn off the entry delay. The entry delay, what that means is that normally customers or employees, when they come into the store, when it's armed, it gives them 60 seconds to come in and turn it off. If you turn off that entry delay, you don't have to wait that extra 60 seconds once you trip the alarm. So to test it, all you do is you hit the arm away, put in your code, and it gives you a countdown. Now, when this is counting down, one thing you want to do is go and open up one of the doors, because the system needs to think that you've left the building so that it will turn the motion detectors on. Otherwise, it will default back to an armed stay setting, which means that only the doors would be armed and the motions wouldn't, so you wouldn't be able to test the motions out. So make sure you go and open up one of the doors, and then what you want to do is you want to wait outside the view of the motion detector for 5 minutes before you go and open the door, or before you go and walk in front of it, because the motion detectors, the way they work is that they set themselves up, and then once they see motion or movement, they trip and send a signal to the panel. And since these are wireless and they got a battery in them, if they just kept resetting and tripping every second because you're in there and doing gymnastics, you'd go through batteries really quickly. So once they've set themselves up and tripped, they basically go to sleep for 5 minutes, meaning they don't see anything for those 5 minutes. After that 5 minutes is up, they reset, and then they wait for motion. Once they see it, they trip, send a signal to the panel. So what you'd like to do is, while we're waiting for this to count down, you want to stay out of the view of the motion detector, and then usually I like to test the motion detectors first, so I'll walk in front of the motion detectors before I go and open up the doors, just to make sure that they've all tripped. Now the glass break's already been tested, so as long as you have the right serial number in there, you're good to go with that one. And then the panic pendant, all you need to do is you got to put the battery in it, put the case on it, mount it, and then just hold the button for at least 3 seconds. It won't show anything on the panel itself, but I will be able to tell if the signal made it through, to be able to pass off this signal being received. And that's it.